I need you to help me because I'm going first, okay? I'm going to tell you what I stand for.
Come to the dark side, Donnie.
No, I'm going to tell you what I stand for, and I want you to give me a label, okay?
Okay.
I am strong on defense. You know, I believe we had to go to Iraq. Obviously, it's a little funky now. How do we get out? You know, supported our president in there. I believe in the death penalty. I am fiscally conservative. I do believe gays should be able to get married. I do believe a woman should choose what she can do with her body. I don't believe prayer belongs in the classroom. I believe the New York Times was totally wrong. I believe in profiling at airports. Name that label. Who am I? What am I?
Oh, there's definitely hope.
Well, no, but tell me, because I guess
you're what's known as a moderate Republican.
Okay, which I think is 90, or you could call it a moderate or conservative Democrat.
No.
Either way, listen, I guess my point is this.
You could not call that a conservative Democrat. Okay. They really, no, they do not want to go into Iraq. They do not want to defend the nation.
Here's my point, because we're all in human beings. We all have this wardrobe of stuff we believe in. I travel this country a lot, and 90% of the people I meet kind of line up with me. I guess my point is, I've yet to meet these liberals. There aren't Michael Moores running around this country. So I think you're waging this war against a critter that doesn't exist.
Well, judging by the number of votes Kerry got, yeah, I think the country is divided. And you run into people who agree with you. I run into people who both hate me and would like to do me physical damage, and ones who love me and agree with me. I mean, that's the nature of us going around speaking.
You're a character, and you play a character, and that's great, and you're brilliant at it. I guess my point is this, is that I question the very enemy you're saying is out there. And my point is, I believe at this point, and look, I'm not a aw shucks kumbaya guy, but I believe right now people want kind of to get along. And what you do, forget the issues itself, this whole lightning rod thing,
right?
Where I don't know if that polarization even exists in this country.
No, I think it does. Maybe not with the people you meet, but I mean, you just cited a front-page article on the New York Times, the most influential, important newspaper in the country. I mean, to act like that's just some little blog someplace and doesn't make a difference.
But here's a guy, a traditional, somebody you would say, the kind of person who would come at the New York Times traditionally would be a conservative. Well, we're not going to label me a conservative. So I guess my whole point, this label thing, I think these words, liberal and conservative, don't make sense anymore. And I think, frankly, most of the country agrees, and where people come apart, here's where it is basically on the issue of abortion and gay rights. That's the emotional stuff. I think people agree on pretty much everything else.
The votes don't seem to show that.
The votes, they're right down the middle.
Well, you can't vote on abortion.
Okay, right.
But you keep having legislatures, even with the Supreme Court calling it a constitutional right, you keep having legislatures send it up. And on gay marriage, I mean, it's been overwhelming. States have voted.
But the point, but
two dozen states have voted.
You hit that nerve, but my point, that has nothing to do with most people's lives.
That's a New York City liberal.
But listen, no, that's somebody who all I believe is people. I don't want to run people's lives, which is pretty much the theory of Republicans. I don't want the governments in my toast either. I guess my point is this stuff that you're doing that's selling trillions of books. And you are a very compelling character. You have beautiful legs.
Thank you.
That you use as we all use our stuff, and I think that's why you're able to deliver your stuff. But I don't think there's this enemy out there. And I don't know these liberals that you keep saying are taking down the country and are as bad as anything that's ever happened to this country. You compare.
Well, I
think you're fighting an enemy. Okay, you could probably name them. Right, there are 20 of them. I don't think liberals exist anymore.
No, I mean, you do have, I've just cited the most influential, important newspaper in the country, or you cited it. We had John Kerry, who voted for funding the war before he voted against it. You know that Democrats, look, the one Democrat who agrees with you on Iraq is Joe Lieberman. And liberals are staging a huge primary fight against it.
What I said on Iraq is, we got to somehow get out of there. It's very easy. I'm not going to sit here in hindsight and say, look, to be honest, I think Bush made a mistake. It's easy to say that now. If I've got, $200 billion to spend on terrorism, I'm not going to Iraq. I'm an American. We got troops over there. I've talked to their mothers. I got that. My point is, I think you hit a nerve with a lot of people in America, in that if people believe in some of these other social issues, they're bad Americans, and they don't want to support our troops, and they don't believe in God, and they want to rape your children, and I have a problem with that.
I think I mostly just quote them.
You just quote them?
Yes.
So this is all you're doing is quoting.
Yes, but to get back to your point that this is an apocryphal enemy that doesn't exist, That isn't true. The enemy I'm writing about almost became the leader of the free world. I mean, the last election was very, very close.
It was, and look what we
and
got
as
instead.
I say, you have Democrats now, including Kerry, including Hillary Clinton, including Al Gore, who will not campaign for Lieberman.
I don't want to talk.
He supports the war on terrorism.
I don't want to take politics aside. I want to talk about people of this country. Which what I think, and I have somebody who's kind of followed the pulse of this country.
But they do vote.
They do vote, but I actually
you may
think
fall
people,
in the middle, but there are.
But there's only two places to
sides.
vote. You can't vote in the middle. And my point is this: there is no liberal undertone. Why is Hillary Clinton a liberal?
Only her psychiatrist could tell you.
So does that mean Rudy Giuliani is a liberal also?
On some things.
Okay, so that's my whole point. You just said it. On some things. We don't all wear this wardrobe anymore. You just said it. Yes, on some things.
Okay, it's not a perfect label. Nothing is a perfect label. I mean, you can talk about, describe a dog as a mammal with 4 legs and a tail. Well, some dogs don't have tails, but, it just ends debate to say that this label doesn't describe everything.
But it is.
Some dogs have 3 legs, but we have to be able to communicate. So, yes, that's how people use
But I guess my
words.